Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and today I am playing more Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Path. So, last time, we got to take a look at basically the first actual visual footage of Gregory Edgeworth, so holy crap. And that's fun. Kinda sucks that we didn't get that in the States, but whatever. And so far, the case is interesting. You know, big ol' bake sale kind of thing. Or actually, no, not bake sale. It's the chocolatier kind of thing, where everybody is making confectionaries of all sorts. And that looks like fun. Oh yeah, I remember. The last stream that I did, they were talking about chocolate so often, and I actually went out and I'm like, God damn, I need like a Twix bar or something. What the fuck? Okay, sorry I haven't really looked too much at the previous footage before, and also, I don't know. I'm a tad bit tired today. A little bit. I've been having issues with sleep again, which kind of sucks. But whatever. I have caffeine, and I am awake enough. So let us begin. I'm going to dial this down, and we are going to move over to the next tab. Here we are. Prosecutor's Path. I also ended it like a little bit early last time because this particular chapter has got a lot of low, deep voices. Or, you know, technically speaking, this game doesn't have any voices at all, but there are a lot of characters that I have given specifically low-end voices that are gruff, and it is not good in my throat. Not really. So I think today, I just need to focus on drinking a crap load of water. That's my thought. So let's begin. Holy crap, that is a cake castle. My God, I didn't make any kind of comment about that the last time I saw it, did I? Holy shit. Anyway, December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Delicia's room. Oh yeah, right. Delicia's kind of on the chopping block right about now. Wow, a candy castle! And there are even some fairies over there. Oy vey. This room seems to be structured in the same way as Master's room. But it's nowhere near as cold. This room also seems to have been fitted with a temperature control panel. Yes, except this one doesn't need to be as freaking freezing because no chocolate. Ah, it's over there by that orange lamp, right? Indeed. Let's not forget to investigate it later. Even so, this room is like something out of a fairy tale. Is this cream-covered castle Delicia's work? Where's Delicia? Oi, can I help you? Hi. Oh, hello. Aw, adorable and stubby. I assume she did it. I don't know why. Oh boy, what the heck? What the heck accent is this? Is this like Dutch or something? I have no idea. I have no idea what a Dutch accent would be, but... Hold on, boys! I am Delicia Scones. Oh, England. Oh god, Cockney. Shit. Oh dear. Here, I'm gonna move over to headphones just to make sure. There we go. And also turn it down because it's customary that I don't adjust these things before the show. Good god. I should just have it like a pre-setup or something, where I don't have to worry about it. Alright. Cockney accent. I just gotta think of like Mustache Girl, pretty much. In my native England, I'm known as Miss Delicious. Being called a boy, even though I'm already 34. Certainly a rare experience. Boys! I understand you're calling me that, but Mr. Edgeworth... As far as I'm concerned, you're all boys to me, even that detective over there. My name is Bad, not Boy. Just how old is this woman? Mr. Attorney, let's just finish our business here. Very professional. Right. Oh boy! You! What do you think you're doing? Conversing with a mere attorney? Here's another voice I wasn't looking forward to. Mr. Edgeworth, a scary man came out of the candy castle!
Von Karma.
This man is Prosecutor Von Karma? Eep, Manny!
So he's Von Karma. Pleased to meet you, Professor Von Karma. My name is Gregory Edgeworth, defense attorney. Bah, I have no interest in the names of defense attorneys.
Slaps him down without even a single thought.
After all, they only exist to be crushed by me. What a rude man.
That piercing gaze and furrowed brow. He's even scarier than the rumors say.
Although that statement was also very rude. Prosecutor Von Karma, would you allow us to investigate too? You think I would give information to a mere defense attorney? As I thought, it won't be that simple. However, I'll make a special exception for this room.
Why? Why did he change his mind so quickly? My guess is that he adjusted something in here.
You, old bloodhound! Don't call me that. My name is Bad. Ha! A mere detective speaking back to me. I admire your courage, at least. Bad, stand watch and see to it that they don't misbehave. Why, me? I will not accept your refusal. Well then, I'll be investigating Gustavia's room next.
Frigid asshole.
I'm babysitting again. I wonder why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Instead of being on bad terms, it seems like they hardly know each other.
Mr. Edgeworth, now that we've got Von Karma's permission, we can continue investigating.
Yes, his manner bothers me, but I am glad we can at least continue the investigation. Hold it. I also need to investigate this room.
Oh, there goes the controller. Whoopsies.
I don't want you disturbing the room, so you'll investigate after me.
Well, frickin' lovely. What? Aren't you the detective in charge of this case? Why haven't you investigated the room yet?
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was a close colleague of Von Karma.
Convenient for Karma.
I came to take over for him, so I only got to this mansion just recently. So that's why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Lovely. Detective Bad, will you allow us to investigate with you like before? In doing so, you'll be able to supervise us and also ensure we don't tamper with anything. You want me to watch you? You're a strange lawyer.
What can I say? I just like being watched.
I'll let you stick around a little longer.
Hey, you did it, Mr. Edgeworth. Solemn bow.
Thank you, Detective Bad. But if I decide you're holding up the investigation, you'll have to leave. Yes, I understand. Well then, let's begin the investigation.
Let's snoop around inside the castle. Okay, well, we got name tag for the place.
It says the Four Fairies and the Curious Candy Castle. It seems this was the theme for Delicious Rourke. But it's not just the Candy Castle that I'm curious about.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to look around and see if there's anything particularly weird. And aside from whatever the heck is inside, I don't know. Oh, hey, look, a ladder.
What is it, Mr. Attorney? Something about that ladder bothering you?
Detective Bad, it's actually a stepladder.
They're both the same to me.
They're completely different. Look at their basic nature.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth. You tell him. God damn it.
Here are the tools used to make desserts.
Everything from a bucket of fresh cream to a brush and a trowel. Looks more like a construction worker's tools.
Oh, God. Cockney accent. Cockney accent. I don't know. I need to think of, like, the Cockney accents that you would hear in, you know, like The Sound of Music or something like that. I'm just scared because I feel like it's going to go into a southern drawl before it goes into Cockney accent. And that's the main problem with me. Hey now, boys, don't underestimate me. The work of a pastry chef. Why, I hate your character. It's completely different from construction work, where they cover the walls with cement. We use the towels to smear the cream and the brush to clean any uneven parts. This is more Australian. God damn it. I really need to work on these specific accents.
How is that different from construction work?
Who the heck knows? Okay, we got more rivers of water. How you doing, sir? Don't turn around. Don't turn around. If you do, you're only gonna eat that Kessel.
This forensics officer seems to be on a diet.
Well, you shouldn't have the inkling to go and eat the Dude, that'd be like if I walked into the chocolate room before and I'm just like, oh, I must eat some of it. No. I called it, and then I went out, and I bought myself a candy bar. I am sane.
There's a burner and some chemicals over here. They were probably used to make desserts. What are these chemicals? The writing on the label say... Number 1, punch out, and number 9, suffering.
Are they poisons?
No, they're both used to make desserts. Seems to be artificial flavored and colored. Punch Out is a catchy name for a fruit punch essence.
Very misleading.
What bothers me is what suffering stands for.
Suffering succotash. That's clearly what that is. Oh, oops, don't turn around. Don't turn around.
It's a cute candy fairy sitting on a tree stump. The cream decorations are melting. The fairy seems to be well made, but something feels slightly off.
Well, why the heck would it be melting? Shouldn't this thing be set properly?
There's a cover on the wall, just like in Mr. Master's room.
Let's open it up.
The room temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and the lights are set to green.
Gustavia said that 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature for fresh cream.
So why the heck isn't it set up to that?
This room's temperature is too high.
Sounds like sabotage to me.
This is intriguing.
Okay. Anything going on with this thing back here?
It's a cute candy fairy sitting on a tree stump. Cream decorations are melting.
Okay. Enough of that. Nothing to do with the water over here?
I can't believe this amazing castle is made entirely out of confectionery.
I know! What a work of fantasy! It's like a fairy tale world!
You like all this fairy stuff, don't you?
Sorry, I got a bit too excited, didn't I?
No, it's interesting to me since you're so enthusiastic about it. Unlike my son. At least he's not going to end up a fruitcake.
I don't even know why I say that. He doesn't seem like an abusive father at all. I think he would be understanding. Yeah, son?
He's only in grade school, yet he prefers to read law books instead of fairy tales. I am worried that he won't be able to make any friends that he can talk to.
What an interesting kid. I'd like to be his friend. Oh, it'll happen. Trust me. Stop eating your notes.
I think he'd be more of an older brother to him.
An older brother. What? Well, I've got some growing up to do then.
Yes, and that's why we have to continue with the investigation. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
What are those gigantic cheese curds?
The castle doors are open.
When someone opens a door, they really should remember to close it afterwards.
Would he say that directly to Prosecutor Von Karma, though?
Nope. Because he is a terrifying demon. Huh? Looks like there's some stuff inside. Let's see.
Wait. Oh, wait. I'll examine it. Stay out of the way. This fresh cream melts too easily.
Oh, dang. The cream is melting. Single touch can cause it to break. Well, good thing the door's open right now.
Seems like Detective Bad's shoes got covered in cream. Why were those objects kept inside the Candy Castle?
If there's anything you want to investigate, you better speak up now.
Again... Okay, whatever those are.
2 big rocks are placed here. It's like a storage room.
Yeah, the inside of the Candy Castle isn't so dreamy. Hey, maybe they're raw gemstones. Who knew that there were such treasures hidden within the castle?
Seems like a rather careless way to handle treasures.
Looks like there's something underneath the rocks.
Seems there's a pedestal attached to both the rocks.
Ah, interesting. And I think I know what those rocks are supposed to be for. Ah, of course! It's a pedestal for displaying the gems.
Well, in any case, this is no ordinary object. This pillar has a hexagonal recess.
It looks like a pedestal, but it has nothing in it.
A hexagonal recess, huh? I wonder what have been put in these. I think I know.
A giant strawberry would fit with fresh cream.
Well, that would be really nice, but where are you going to get giant strawberries at this time of season? Detective Bad, I don't think strawberries are hexagonal.
I was just hoping.
Then I hope it's a banana.
I think I'd prefer blueberries.
None of these things would fit in those. Anyways, oh my god, that's a lot of logic. Anyway, there's hexagonal recesses and the pedestal rocks. That one's a gimme.
The rock's pedestal has a similar shape to the recesses on the castle's pillars. Perhaps the rock is meant to be placed on top of the pillars?
Oh, that's right. They're both hexagonal.
I wonder why they were hidden inside the castle, though.
My guess is that these things probably wouldn't stand up, considering the fact that this thing's about to fall over. Just with, like, simple touches. Like, if those are actually rocks, I don't think they would hold. Cream is melting. Single touch can cause it to break. Beaten to death. The victim appears to have been beaten to death with a blunt object. I wonder if these two combinations would do it. You know, the temperature is fragile desserts and the high room temperature. Let's just connect those two. Yep. Okay.
The reason the fresh cream is so fragile is due to the temperature in this room.
So my shoes got creamed because the room temperature is set at 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Speaking of which, when you opened the castle door, the doorknob didn't break.
Yeah, it was stronger than I thought.
Strong? A dessert? Detective Bad, could you have a closer look at the doorknob?
Is this actual real hardware? Did someone cheat?
This is...
It would seem this doorknob isn't a dessert.
And it's not just the doorknob. This castle and the fairies are just plastic molds coated in fresh cream.
Yeah, then this isn't a dessert piece at all.
It would seem that they're just fake desserts covered in fresh cream.
Uh-oh. Boy, I think you got some splaining to do. And I think, yeah, we're gonna take that directly to you. First off, though, that's the current bit of logic. Yeah, talk with us, lady. Miss Delicious, you don't seem as energetic as you were earlier.
Delicia, can I just ask, did something happen with Von Karma?
Yeah, see, nothing of the sort. But you just said yes-y. Alright. Cockney. God damn it. Maybe I shouldn't even try Cockney. But British! For fuck's sake. Alright. That yes-y just now... maybe I'll just, do a regular voice, because frankly, that works fine. That yes-y just now was only a greeting. You're a cute boy. I like you. What's your first name? It's Raymond, but... well, Ray, I think you'll make a good man of yourself someday. Ray.
How about that? I think you have a way with British ladies.
She's a little different from my image of a lady. Oh, please.
Why don't we listen to what she has to say?
Screw you at your yo. What's the most trigger happy thing I can think of? It's just oh, you and your conventions of beauty.
Could you tell me about your actions during the contest?
Yes, see, we began making desserts for the contest around 10 o'clock. Basically, I was in here making my desserts the whole time. At 1:30, I joined the afternoon tea for an hour or so. Afternoon tea.
It's a social occasion where conversation is had over black tea and cakes.
So it's pretty much a tea party.
Well, I suppose.
It's grown-up tea party. Oh, Greggy, you're a smart boy, aren't you?
When did I become Greggy? Where was the afternoon tea held?
Somewhere outside the area. Took place in the gardens outside the fountain patio. It's our customary break time during the contest. It's always held at the same time. Today, there were just 3 of us who took part. Jeffy, Katie, and me. Since Jeffy had already finished his creations, he was there from beginning to end. Icy and Gusty didn't join in because they hadn't finished their desserts yet.
So everyone other than Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia participated.
Yes, actually, I hadn't finished my dessert yet either. I just wanted to try some of Jeffy's handmade pastries and Katie's fresh brewed tea. So, after I had eaten my fill, I returned before everyone else.
During the contest, did you enter any of the other contestants' rooms?
What are you saying?
We found your fingerprints on the desserts at the crime scene.
You found them?
Are you admitting that you went to the scene of the murder?
That would say. Hey, don't lick the bowl when you've already got stuff in it. I admit it, but I'm not the murderer. It's the honest truth. Please, hear me out. Oh, really? Honest truth?
What were you doing in Mr. Master's room?
The truth is that I was studying his desserts.
Studying?
Because Jeffy's so talented at making sweets. Well, nobody was in his room at the time, so I just decided to study his works for a bit. Really? I doubt it.
But if you were just looking, you wouldn't have left your fingerprints behind.
Yes, it's natural that I left fingerprints on the desserts. For the sake of research, I ate some of his desserts. You ate a little bit of everything in the room? Jeez. Isn't that like stealing food?
It couldn't be. But the one who wrecked Mr. Master's room was...
Sobbing directly in your desserts. I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to vandalize the room, but... I did eat a few parts of the desserts in his room. I secretly ate a little bits and pieces so Jeffy wouldn't find out. It's pretty easy to find, conveniently she ate all the symmetrical bits of the dessert.
So, did you eat the ship's stand as well?
Yes, see, I did. What? I thought she was gonna say, no, you kidding me? Apparently, yes, she did eat some of it. Because I figured that would be the most incriminating thing.
The chocolate chip broke because of you.
I'm sorry. So the reason she left the afternoon tea early was to preserve her appetite. But you gotta believe me on this. I'm not the murderer.
Her actions are sufficiently suspicious, but I won't press on it yet.
I don't know, I would. Because that's kind of interesting. So we know that little bit of information. Let me see here. Fake desserts. Delicia made fake desserts. What are her true intentions? Delicia went to Mr. Master's room to study his desserts. You know, I mean, she had fake desserts prepared. I feel like that would be really, really good. Maybe not like amazing indication, but it looks like she wasn't really in it for the actual competition. It seems more like she was interested in trying to like just be there for the sake of killing. Why the heck would she go over to... I mean, like, on top of that, she went there for the sake of the killing, and then for... I don't know why. Maybe she did it for the sake of an alibi, but then she ate stuff off of the desserts. I'm going to see if these connect. Nope.
I don't think these pieces will fit together.
Do any of these other things connect? Like, beating it out with a blunt object. Maybe, like, the entire reason she came over was strictly to, like, study the desserts. She just have, like, a sweet tooth, and that's about it. I'm gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, I'll look for more evidence. Okay, right. Okay, that didn't work. What about the other stuff that was inside the castle? I didn't look at that. Yep, okay. So what's the other bits?
There are rolls of blue cloth here. Looks like there's 4 of them in all.
They certainly don't look like desserts.
Yeah, I don't know what the cloth is for. It almost seems like it was hidden here inside the castle.
Also, the color of this cloth looks familiar somehow. The blue cloth and the rocks inside the castle. I wonder if they belong to Delicia. Delicia, those things in the castle, what are they used for?
Those... I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Looks like Von Karma is keeping her silent.
I've been found out! He'll get mad at me if I talk.
Prosecutor Von Karma doesn't intend on being upfront with his information.
Oh, such a shame. We finally figured out where the rocks are supposed to go. Could it be that you're interested in my goods? Your goods? Those are my popular relaxation goods.
You mean the rocks and the cloth?
Yes, see, that's right. You see, they're not actually rocks, but special lamps made from rock salt. Wow, so those are lamps. Stop getting all misty. Alright? Like, those might be her assets, but don't start craving for her other assets just because of those assets. It gets even more exciting. Because this cloth also has an amazing secret.
As soon as we showed interest in her goods, she became quite talkative.
Since we got them out, come experience the therapy, boys. Batty, could you put everything up?
It's not Batty, it's bad.
So you won't do it? Is Batty being a bad boy? Shut up. Oh, please just do it.
Labby, are you done photographing this room?
Yes, sir, I am.
Then go help Delicia.
Yes, sir, I'm on it. Thanks. I knew you were a good boy underneath Batty. Miss Delicious, that was amazing. You even persuaded Detective Bad. Again, enough fluffing around. Let's figure out who killed who. Thanks a lot, Batty. And you too, Forensics. She even gave the Forensics a nickname.
I think that's her way of showing she cares.
What's so therapeutic about these things anyway?
We don't have time for that now, Batty. The show's about to begin. Frenzies! Finishing touches, please. Yes, ma'am. Are we throwing a puppet show?
It's...
Wow, it's so beautiful.
It really is. I wish my son could see this.
Oi, I told you so, right? The Four Fairies and the Curious Candy Castle was the theme of my work. It's so sparkly and cute, right? Ah, I see.
Seems like one of them is missing something.
The truth is, I'd planned to unveil it during the contest. Well, I'm glad I got to show it to you boys. Ah, but it doesn't look like the rock salt lamps are lighting up. Uh-huh. I wonder why.
I think I'll need to examine the rocks and the fairies again.
Very well. Oh, shit! That's a good indicator.
It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken.
Both of their light bulbs are broken?
Maybe they were dropped on the floor. There's some sort of red stain on the lamp surface.
The stain? Could it be?
That smell. There's no mistaking it. It's a blood stain.
Gah! That's a blood stain!
Why is there a blood stain on this lamp? I wonder if this has something to do with the lamp bulb being broken. I should also take a look at the other lamp here.
Interesting. Yeah, why would both of them be broken? Well, you just need one for a weapon.
So this is where Delicia originally intended to put these lamps. I don't get why she put them in the castle.
Since they're broken and don't light up, maybe she decided to put them out of the way?
If she wanted them out of the way, there are many other places to store them.
It's like that old saying, hide the salt in the sugar bag.
I think the saying goes, hide a tree in the forest.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, hiding a tree in a forest, that means, like, it wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb, unlike salt inside sugar. Actually, kind of reminds me of a prank I pulled one time. That was awful. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. Actually, oh no, it wasn't me, it was a brother of mine. I'm not saying that to cover my ass. I've done pranks before. But yeah, he straight up put salt inside the sugar jar that we use. And then my dad woke up in the middle... Like, he woke up to, start his morning routine. He put his salt inside the... Well, he put his sugar inside his coffee, but it was salt, basically. I remember doing the trick with putting a rubber band around the hose on the sink. Anyway.
Delicia intended to use these lamps as decorations during the contest. It creates a contradiction with that piece of evidence. I need to deduce the contradiction at the scene.
Trying to remember exactly what the contradiction would have been. Body was covered by the police. Derp, 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 derp. Contest rules. Maybe it's the contest rules. Hold up. I forget what they are. Contestants' room will be judged starting from the left. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Well, entering another contestant's room before the judging is done is prohibited. Well, we've broken all the rules, haven't we? Let me try to do something. Is this spot house somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? It's absolutely not candy, so therefore it kind of contradicts the idea of using it for this entire thing.
Eureka!
Detective Bad, please read the contest leaflet.
Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Huh.
These rock salt lamps and the fluorescent cloth go against the rules.
So maybe that's why they were hidden in the castle?
I wonder about that. I think we should investigate further into Delicia's actions.
I think we have pretty much seen everything we need to see here. But now we need to take a look at you guys.
It's a cute candy fairy sitting on a tree stump. Cloth on the back, along with the decorations, really give it a magical atmosphere. When you look at it, it almost feels like you're spellbound.
What we need to look for is the hidden truth of the real world. Don't be fooled by the fairies.
Well, Jay, sir. What about the other one? Is there anything different with that one? Uh-oh.
Unlike the other fairies, this one doesn't have a fluorescent cloth.
Miss Delicious, it's not right to leave one out. I don't like it either, but one fluorescent cloth and a machine has gone missing.
You've lost a cloth and a machine? What sort of machine is it?
Oi, let me tell you. Each piece of fluorescent cloth is hooked up to one of these machines. The machine is called a rainbow light device. Light is sent through the cable and into the cloth, which is made of optic fiber. Oh, sweet. I like those things. Just fiddle around with the settings a bit, and it'll turn into all sorts of colors. When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. It's powered by a long-lasting battery that's resistant to changes in the temperature.
I'm not very familiar with these kinds of devices.
Miss Edgeworth, she's saying it's a machine that transmits light to the special cloth.
I see. It's amazing what they come up with these days.
So one rainbow light device and one fluorescent cloth are missing.
Yesy, that's right. Wherever could they be?
This fluorescent cloth, could it be related to the case?
What do I remember changing color before? I do have one idea. Let me take a look at this real quick. That's interesting. Did I see the ladder, by the way? Oh, yeah, it's like the first thing I saw. Hello, how's it going? Yep, I think it's absolutely connected. Shit. Alright, so any logic I can connect right now? Well, absolutely. Fake desserts. Broke the rules. There's blood on this, and I have to make the assumption that it was used to beat this man to death. Oh, yes.
There is evidence that the victim was beaten to death with a blunt object. What's more, there's a bloodstain on one of the broken rock salt lamps. Could this lamp have been the murder weapon?
You're right. It could have been used as a weapon. But why?
Labby, is the blood analysis on this rock salt lamp finished?
Yes, sir. It finished just a few moments ago. Blood stain on that lamp belonged to the victim.
You heard what he said.
Uh-oh. Now again, why would the murder weapon be in here? And not at the scene of the crime. Supposed scene of the crime.
The murder weapon was hidden in Delicia's room. We need to consider her as one of the suspects as well.
Alright. Delicia went to Mr. Master's room to study his desserts. Broke the rules. Made fake desserts. What are her true intentions? And she also broke the... Can we connect those two? Just the whole fact that, that fake desserts and she... Other objects besides desserts. Clearly she doesn't care about the rules. Screw it, let's see. Oh, hello! Yes.
Using decorations that were against the rules and making fake desserts. A lot of Delicia's actions seem suspicious.
Yeah, doesn't seem like she's aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef.
Also, the temperature of this room is way too high. Is there a reason for that? Why would she want the temperature to be higher than 50? That's an interesting question. Why is she sitting at like 68 degrees?
I wonder. I think we should ask Delicia directly.
Oh, I think so. Hey, ma'am. You got some explaining to do. And again, she does have a British accent. But I can't do British accents, so I'm just going to do a dainty one. Or at least like a lighter one.
Delicia, why is the room temperature set at 68 degrees Fahrenheit?
The cold doesn't agree with me. Plus, it's bad for the body. This figure doesn't just maintain itself, you know? Naturally, as a lady, I want to look younger forever. Young forever. I wonder how old Miss Delicious really is.
Raymond, a true gentleman never asks a woman her age.
This room is mainly filled with cream, and 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the recommended temperature for preserving fresh cream.
What? Really? Now it's all gone to waste. Looks like Miss Delicious didn't know. There's another suspicious thing.
I thought she was supposed to be a first-class pastry chef.
The fake desserts and the rule violations and now a lack of basic knowledge? Looks like she keeps many secrets.
Oh, don't look all sly and, happy as being like, oh, look, I'm tasting my delicious dishes. No, you're not. All right, hold the phone. I don't know if that is enough to connect. Delicia seems lacking in basic knowledge of dessert making. Delicia went to Mr. Master's room to study his desserts. Would those two connect? The fact that she knows nothing but wanted to go and to his room to check desserts? It kind of does. Let me see. It does. Hey.
Delicia's knowledge in the art of dessert making is lacking in fundamental areas, and she claims she went into Mr. Master's room in order to study his desserts. These actions and ideas are not fitting of someone aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef.
Yeah, they don't sound like the words of a pro. It's like she doesn't even realize it, or
maybe she isn't a real pastry chef at all. Oh! Perhaps she had some other intention. It's possible that she didn't go into the room to study desserts.
So then, are you saying Miss Delicious is the criminal?
We can't say that for sure yet. But I know she's hiding something from us.
Clearly. Good investigation.
That's enough investigating.
We found much more than I expected. And yet, something from before still bothers me. Prosecutor Von Karma must have found the murder weapon in this room. So, then, why did he let Delicia be? Firstly, I must ascertain Von Karma's true motives. Detective Bad, I would like you to ask Prosecutor Von Karma something.
I've also got business with him, and Delicia there too.
Yep, what's the idea, Batty? Don't glare at me like that.
It seems Detective Bad also has his doubts about Delicia and Von Karma.
I mean, all of this seems ridiculously fishy. And conspiracy. Conspiracy-y.
Delicia, would you come with us for a moment?
Yes, see, that's fine. What for?
We have to find Von Karma. There are some things we need to talk about.
Right. I kind of expected he was just gonna bust in, being like,
"Hey, I'm back, bitches!"
December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Patio. Hey, welcome back.
Prosecutor Von Karma, we need to talk about the case.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. From the look on your face, I assume you found the murder weapon?
Yes. We discovered the murder weapon in Delicia's room. And you got some splaining to do, Willis.
Actually, is that two completely different sitcoms?
It would seem Mr. Master isn't the only suspect in this case.
Bah, that's not true. Where the murder weapon was found does not change the fact that Master is the culprit. As long as I am here.
Why is Von Karma so sure of himself? Well then, aren't you going to explain why the murder weapon was in Delicia's room?
Naturally. If you wish to know, I'll tell you.
About the murder weapon.
In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the scene of the crime, Master would have been the one suspected. He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene.
Shock. I don't know.
Mr. Master took the rock salt lamp?
Precisely. I carried out the investigation myself. There can be no room for doubt.
Do you have evidence that he moved it?
Yeah, like fingerprints or some bullshit.
That will not be necessary.
What?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you have an objection, say it. Do you think a mere defense attorney can break my logic?
Well, from what I know in the future, yes. In fact, a very simple defense attorney. One that has barely gotten out of diapers. Anyway. Save time. Inherited turnabout. Pin crime on Delicia. Master use rock salt lamp.
He took the rock salt lamp from Delicia's room?
Exactly. In order to kill Dover, he had prepared the murder weapon beforehand.
But the murder weapon was found in Delicia's room. Doesn't that place suspicion on Delicia too?
I'm not finished. Master killed Dover. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room.
So the murder weapon was the rock salt lamp hidden inside the candy castle?
I discovered the murder weapon when I entered the castle. Be thankful, for defense attorney, that you two came by this information.
Why was it necessary for you to enter the castle?
Maybe he's interested in candy castles. See, I would love to pin that on Von Karma because that would be hilarious and very dainty of him. But no.
Why you? Do you think I went in there because I wanted to? The detectives at the scene were useless, so I had to investigate myself.
Wow. That's fighting words, son.
I wasn't in charge of the initial investigation.
Detective Bad joined the investigation halfway through.
Bah! Certain work ethic is required if you are to gain my trust. This is a flagrant waste of time. I'll continue. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected.
Wouldn't the body left behind in the room also be cause for suspicion? Moreover,
I have a favorite saying I'd like to share with you. Even dogs can wait. Wait until I've finished.
that's exactly what I'd like to say to you. The highway goes both ways, you jackass.
He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon.
Are you saying that Mr. Master removed the murder weapon and hid the body in the chest?
He believed that if he hid it inside his own work, it would not be discovered.
So savory.
Don't you mean so sorry?
She shows no sign of remorse. He moved the murder weapon and left the body at the scene. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene.
How can you conclude that Mr. Master is the killer without any evidence?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. You think that will shame me? You disappoint me. As long as the body was found in Master's room, he's the prime suspect.
Boy, that's like saying if somebody cooks a pizza in their apartment, it means that they cooked it themselves.
Is there really no evidence pointing to anyone else at the crime scene? Surely there's room for further investigation.
Insolent attorney. Another investigation is not necessary. Master must be the killer. If you think differently, cease these pointless words and speak with evidence.
Think back to the crime scene. If Mr. Master isn't the killer, there must have been something there incriminating someone else. Seems Von Karma won't be shaken easily. I'll just have to present evidence that contradicts his reasoning.
Uh-oh. Okay, so there's absolutely no new dialogue, which means I need to present something. Well, what should I be trying to pin him on here? In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected. Couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene. I feel like this is probably what I'm supposed to be doing right about now. Well, what piece of evidence would be a good indicator of that? Is there anything with the crime scene notes? Notes on the crime scene, body was recovered. The victim's body was found in a treasure chest made of chocolate in Jeff Master's room. Cause of death seems to be a hard blow to the head. Some circumstances are unclear regarding the part of the treasure chest and the bloodstain. Each of the desserts in Mr. Master's room have one part missing. Before the ship's fall, the treasure chest lid was closed. This seems like there's a lot left over. There's a lot of... Out of all the things that would have possibly pieced him with the body, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There would be no evidence pointing to anybody at the crime scene. I don't know.
Objection.
I'm not sure about that.
It's true that the murder weapon and bloodstains disappeared from the vicinity. However, there was still one piece of incriminating evidence left behind. Have a look at this photograph, which was taken when the body was first discovered.
Well, we got a blanket, and we also got a pin, so yes.
The cloth was used to wrap the body. Doesn't it remind you of the fluorescent cloth from Delicia's room?
Damn! My fluorescent cloth was at the crime scene!
Ha! Fluorescent cloth? You! Just what part of this cloth is fluorescent?
I guess Moncama doesn't know about this cloth's secret.
It looks like a normal cloth at first glance, but if you use this rainbow light device, you can make it glow.
Not smart in the ways of technology, I see. Prosecutor Von Kama seems a little surprised.
I don't think it was the cloth's ability to glow that surprised him. One sheet of this fluorescent cloth is currently unaccounted for. Now, I'd like you to take a look at the color of the cloth in this photo. Don't you think it looks like the cloth of the fluorescent... the color of the fluorescent cloth before being lit up? Both the rock salt lamp and the fluorescent cloth originally belonged to Delicia. Wouldn't it be natural to assume that this cloth was used to wrap the body? Prosecutor Von Cobb, I believe the present conditions give us much reason to suspect Delicia.
Steve! What the heck? Did you catch that with her foot? Hold it, Gregory! Do you really suspect me?
I don't yet know if you're the culprit, but it's true that you're hiding something. Am I right?
That's it.
So, you're saying that the murder weapon and the cloth were originally from Delicia's room?
Yes.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
What's so funny?
Just as I expected from you. The murder weapon and the cloth are not from her room. How unfortunate for you.
How does that make sense?
What does he mean?
Before the contest began, Master noticed her violation of the rules. He confiscated the cloth and the rock salt lamp and kept them in his room for safekeeping.
What?
The victim was not seen as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master. And the murder weapon, the rock salt lamp, was being kept in Master's room. This should be the decisive evidence in proving Master's guilt. Defense attorney.
Well, what about the entire castle, then?
You've lost to me before you even had a chance to stand in court.
What's this?
What? What was our investigation? Was our investigation for nothing? Miss Delicious! Why didn't you tell us about your confiscated items? Back for good? Hello, Mario. Manny said I'd look suspicious if I did. Prosecutor Von Karma. And it's true, you all suspect me, don't you? Yes, but that's because I think we are well-founded in that one.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. How clumsy of you, defense attorney.
Von Karma! So that's why he let us investigate Delicious Room.
And in your clumsiness, there's one more thing I need to inform you of. 2 sets of fingerprints were found on the murder weapon.
2?
Yes, they belong to Jeff Masters and Delicia Scones. No other fingerprints were found.
Frickin' great.
After Master killed Dover with the confiscated rock salt lamp, he foolishly concealed the murder weapon, bearing his own fingerprints in his owner's room. Tisk, tisk. I don't even need to prove my case in court. I have more than enough perfect evidence to prove Master's guilt.
Hold it! I still have some doubts about the fluorescent cloth found in Mr. Master's room.
Bah, irrelevant. After disposing of the body, he intended to return it to Delicious Room.
I don't have enough information to refute Von Karma's reasoning.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nothing left to say? If your job is done, leave this place.
That's...
I can't give up yet.
We've wasted enough time as it is. Bad, take them away.
Oh, help.
There are still some doubts left in our investigation.
Detective Bad.
What's the meaning of this? It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There is still one piece of evidence that has yet to be identified.
I'm trying to think about which one that would be.
That's right. There's still the traces someone left behind.
Oh, is that the bit where like someone just went in all willy-nilly and ate stuff?
Bah, talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business.
No, I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bad has.
What?
Piece of evidence left in Mr. Master's room that has not been identified. Okay. Oh, hey. Okay, we have a couple of things that have not really been identified yet. Someone left finger marks on the chocolate frame. No fingerprints were found. Oh, no, well, no fingerprints, so can't nail much down on that one. Made by... Okay, Jeff's fingerprints were found on it. That actually makes a heck of a lot of sense since they're his. I'm very curious about the signet crest found near the body at the crime scene. Does the design hold any special meaning? I would say so.
We still do not know the true nature of this piece of evidence.
This is not the same doubt I had.
Fuck. Oh.
The only thing I question here is you, defense attorney. There can be no unidentified evidence before a Von Karma.
Shit.
It wasn't this. Please, wait, I still have some doubts left.
Alright, okay, so it wasn't that. I'm still curious about it, though. Alright. Right. It's in his specific room, so I'd have to say these fingerprints are still kind of a big old question mark.
Somebody left glove finger marks on one of Mr. Master's desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave any fingerprints on the murder weapon.
How did you know the state of the crime scene?
I gave them permission to investigate.
Ha ha.
Bad, what possessed you to let a defense attorney into the crime scene?
I don't recall.
You telling me not to to let them in? Such impudence. You'd best remember, Bad. Your salary review depends on me.
Gulp. Oh no. It's another case of investigators and gumshoe interpretation. This isn't good for Bad. I'm so glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth.
Your salary review depends on how you perform here.
I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time. However, it's possible those finger marks were Master's own doing. Because he always wore gloves while cooking.
Well, then why would there be fingerprints on other things inside his room? I suppose, like, he could have made those while he was cooking and then had tea around the time he wasn't. Damn.
Do you have evidence that those finger marks were left by Master? And moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia.
Oh? You still haven't given up on that?
Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites.
I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something.
Greggy is a bully.
Don't you know the temperature fresh cream must be kept at? You call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack even the most basic knowledge.
I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge.
In your case, it's not even about the lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you?
Well, no, she doesn't, because she's got an entire plexiglass castle.
Defense attorney, stop trying to force your own reasoning. In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence!
I think I will.
We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows that Delicia can't make desserts.
Well... Fucking shit. Boy, I wonder what it is.
The only thing Delicia made were those that broke the rules.
The lamp and the clock that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There's no way the witness could have returned them to her room.
Not what I was talking about, shitbag.
Those were not the only fake desserts she made.
What?
Yeah, did you not check?
The desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance, but in reality they are nothing but mannequins, decorated with cream. Apart from the cream, they're all fake. This is not something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do.
Is this true, Bad? Yes, my shoes can attest to that.
Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor Von Karma?
Once he sees what Delicia has done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia? The fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter.
That I didn't murder.
Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you? And why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work?
Yes, I understand. Finally, we can figure this out. Is she gonna, like, derobe and turn out to be someone completely different? Truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef, like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist. What? A pharmacist?
That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his...
It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise.
Why is a pharmacist like you participating in the contest?
I just love eating desserts. That's obvious. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffrey's desserts. Couldn't you have waited until after the contest to do that? Holy shit. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals.
Even Prosecutor Von Karma is at a loss for words.
So that's the real reason why you entered the contest? Yesy, as expected, Jeffrey's desserts were oh so good.
So, the glove finger marks on the picture frame were your doing?
No way, I never wore gloves.
Delicia's fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. So it is true that she wasn't wearing gloves.
Yesy, exactly. You do believe me, Greggy.
Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts?
Sorry, Manny.
I think it's her belly that's stuffed.
Very much. I mean, like, chocolate is nice and candy is dandy, but maybe cull it back a bit. This is me saying, me saying this, and I've got some weight that I could be losing too. But it's not like I, lost control the last stream and went out and bought myself chocolate. No, I never did that. Ignore what I said the last few hours or so.
Were Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate icy Oh my god! You are a succubus for other people's desserts.
You mean you entered the victim's room?
Yes, see, exactly. The room was empty, after all. And how'd you get in?
Perhaps the victim was already dead by then.
But my first bite tasted way too salty, and I couldn't eat it. So I ate the delicious star-shaped desserts that was nearby. Miss Delicious, you really are a glutton.
It is rare you see a woman with this kind of appetite.
That's all I did. Greggy, Manny, everyone, I'm sorry I caused you trouble.
Now that you've told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologize.
This does not mean that your testimony is trustworthy. I'll be investigating the victim's room after this. Only then will I decide if your testimony is true.
Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning up until now has been correct.
I'll let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate.
That's enough for me.
Oh dear. December 24th, 9 o'clock p.m. Contest venue, Dover's room.
What is the meaning of this?
Is everything super cold? What is going on here? The desserts adorning the victim's room had disappeared without a trace. Was this the true killer's doing? A body that was hidden inside a dessert, and a murder weapon that was moved. Further investigation would be required to arrive at the truth of this case. Oh, shit. To be continued. Well, let's see how far this goes, shall we? Oops! Okay, I'll save later then. April 2nd, 10:15 a.m. Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. Ah, yes. Oops, I guess I went on for a little too long there.
Something like that happened? I had no idea. None of the case files I read went into such detail.
Well, I doubt there would be anything in there that would be inconvenient to the prosecution. Especially with that Von Karma at the head.
How did the investigation go from there?
The desserts had disappeared from the victim's room, so the investigation hit a rough patch. Thanks to that, it took about a whole year before a verdict was handed down.
1 whole year?
This is before the whole 3-day pre-trial system was established. Trials didn't need to finish in the short amount of time that they do now. Boy, I'm sure Gregory's job was a heck of a lot easier back then. Holy shit. And I'm sure nowadays he'd probably be looking at the legal systems like,
what in blazes is going on in this freaking town? I see. Did they ever find out why the victim's desserts disappeared?
well, kinda. His dessert was like a candy ice sculpture made from sherbet. Since it was made from ice, the general consensus was that it had melted. However, that might not quite be the case.
What do you mean?
This museum used to be Mr. Master's mansion.
The stage of the IS-7 incident.
And in this very place, they're exhibiting the sherbet salon from 18 years ago.
The victim's dessert?
Yep. Though it could be just a replica of the original. That's why Uncle Ray had to come today to check it out. And for your old man, too. Now then, let's get a move on and check out the room. I'm pretty sure it's over in the Winter Palace. Well, let's just see what this thing would have been. The Winter Palace should be... it's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum.
Mr. Shields, according to the pamphlet we received at the entrance, the Winter Palace is over here.
Wait, did they move it from where it originally was? Really? I could have sworn it was this one. Saloon. Is that how I'm supposed to be pronouncing something? Oh. Alright, let's scoot. We had to confirm the truth of what happened 18 years ago. Oh, dear God. Why? April 2nd, 10:20 a.m. Zodiac Art Gallery, Winter Palace. I think it's supposed to be Sherbet Saloon. Maybe. Man, it's still as cold as ever. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze solid.
It seems the Winter Palace lives up to its name. It's like a freezer in here. With light dimmed like this, it's almost as if the room itself is made of ice.
I think the control panel for the room temperature is on the back wall. Exactly where I was so many years ago. Miles, why don't you check what temperature is set at for me? Uncle Ray's gonna give the curator a piece of his mind later. It's way too cold in here.
Very well.
But if you want to look around the room a bit, feel free to stay or freeze to your heart's content. I'll get the camera ready. I want to take some pictures of this place and show it to your old man.
Understood.
Right, I gotta talk with you guys first. Well, how about this? I'll yell out, Master Mask is here! Hey, yes, it's me, Master Mask! Good. Oh, wait, Ronnie, if you say that, you'll get arrested. Come on, if we don't plan properly, we won't be able to sell it.
What are these two talking about?
Oh, horrible things.
There's a boy with a school bag. Did he come to the art gallery by himself?
I don't recognize his silhouette. She even quit her job in order to run this museum. I don't really get it.
Perhaps one of his parents knows the curator?
I see. Yeah, I'm trying to recognize it. I don't see it.
A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. On the surface, there is an image of the stars and a written description. The Pleiades? Pleiades? Oh god, how do you pronounce that word? Also known as the Seven Sisters. Can I say that instead? A star cluster that comprises a part of Taurus. But for all those stars to be grouped together as a cluster, the only way of ancient people must have been very... the ways of the ancient people must have been very imprecise. Pretty much. Okay, and then we got this one over here. For some reason, a giant block of ice is on display. There's a description written on the surface. Castor and Pollux. Every December, large meteor showers appear in the direction of these two stars.
And so, Master Mask, and then I...
Those two are being rather noisy and distracting. Can't be helped. I should go look at another exhibit.
Right. Let them steal it by themselves.
There are two sculptures displayed here.
These sculptures are replicas of the desserts that vanished 18 years ago. Impressive, huh? These sculptures made of ice.
Yes. My father never got to see these ice sculptures. And now, 18 years later, I'm standing before them.
Miles, sorry to bother you while you're deep in thought. Could you turn this way a little?
Like this?
Yes, like that. Selfie!
Mr. Shields, you're not...
Say cheese! Boy, he looks just as confused and dumbfounded with the world as he usually does.
Mr. Shields, please don't take pictures of me.
Sorry, my bad. I just wanted to make sure the camera works today. Okay, rather.
That camera looks quite old.
Yeah, well, that's because it's an old-fashioned camera. Yeah, you know, an instant camera. And it automatically develops the photos after shooting. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes, I know. Though I've never used one.
You're quite the know-it-all. You really are the old man's son. Could you move a bit? I want to take some more photos of the room. Joyous day. Instant photography. What a world.
His face is taken on an unusually serious expression. He's probably thinking about the IS-7 incident.
Man, I snapped a bunch, and they're already developed. See? Very colorful.
He shoved them in my face before I could reply.
Well, I have one more question for you, Mr. Know-It-All. Do you know what these two sculptures represent?
The sculptures of Taurus and Gemini from the winter constellations.
Ah, bingo! Not bad, Miles.
I literally just read the descriptions on the other constellations on the side. I'm not that much of a genius.
It's probably why they call this room the Winter Palace. Uncle Ray is feeling generous today, so I'll give you a copy of this photo, too.
Thanks.
Very nice. Info jotted down.
Are these replicas of the constellation desserts that were made 18 years ago?
Yeah, it looks like these two sculptures are also made out of sherbet. Uncle Ray's only seen the real sculptures in photos. But these sculptures look like the real deal.
This was what you wanted to show me?
Yeah. I think the old man would have wanted you to see it as well. I'm sorry, Uncle Ray didn't have the courage to come here alone.
Don't apologize. This was a good opportunity to learn about my father's case.
That means a lot to me. So, you wanted me to take another commemorative photo?
No, thanks! No. I have no good sides. None at all. No flash photography.
There's one thing that's kind of catching my eye here.
This rock salt lamp is lighting up the constellation chart. I see. Gemini and Taurus are constellations that can be seen in the winter. Since this is the Winter Palace, perhaps that explains the winter constellations made of sherbet. According to the padlet, the other palaces are made of crystal. But for the Summer Palace, I think it'd be more fitting if it were made out of shaved ice. Well, no, that would make it exactly the same as this room.
Alright, controls.
Mr. Shields, I can't find the temperature control panel.
Right, they keep it where it's hard to find. Just one moment. No, it's locked. That makes sense. They wouldn't want the guests changing the temperature themselves. It actually kind of reminds me, I used to work at a movie theater, and there were special switches that were on the outside of the auditoriums to make sure that people didn't go and just randomly flip the lights on whenever, like, a movie was going. Because nobody wanted that to happen. Just, like, everybody sitting down, like, imagine just sitting down and watching, like, the, well, for example, maybe going up and seeing the new Incredibles 2 movie or something, and then all of a sudden the maintenance lights come on, just like, what the frick? And them some bright bastards.
According to the pamphlet, the Winter Palace has a temperature of 27 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ugh, now that is cold. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze to death. Guess I'll need to find someone to share body heat with. Preferably a beautiful lady. I was about to say, get the hell away from me.
I'm not a lady.
Oh, you're trying to freeze me to death as well with those cold eyes?
Of course not.
Alrighty, now that I've got some pictures of this room, let's check out the other palaces. Might as well see them all since we're already here.
I suppose you're right.
Ah, Jesus!
Who? That yelled just now.
It came from the fountain patio. Let's go, Miles. Oh, god damn it. April 2nd, 10:30 a.m., Zodiac Art Gallery Fountain Patio. What are you doing here?
There was someone passed out on the floor, and that man there is... Oh.
Misfortune again, I see.
Larry, what are you doing here? No, I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly happened here?
Edgy! I saw something that no one should ever have to see.
Larry, calm down. Why is there someone passed out here?
I didn't do anything. He just fell down all of a sudden. This man, he can't be. Oh boy. So no more Russian accents, I see. That sucks. Excuse me, but what is the matter here? You can't raise such a ruckus in the museum, boys. The gang's all here, I see.
This scent is...
Seems like he's still breathing. But this is a bad situation. Miles, it's not safe here. Get everyone out of here.
Everyone, get away from that room right now. There's poison gas coming from it.
Oh, fun. Great. How the heck did poison gas happen? And how did we immediately assume it was poison gas? April 2nd, 10:42 a.m. Zodiac Art Gallery. Fountain Patio. Evacuate. Right, you got some splaining to do. What the heck are you doing here?
Mr. Shields, how's the victim?
It looks like he breathed in a little too much of that poison gas. He's still unconscious. According to the doctor in the ambulance, there are no external injuries or on any other wounds, sir. Thanks to our fortunate timing, we were able to save him before he was too far gone. But he's not out of the woods yet. He's currently being treated by a specialist in the infirmary.
I see. Mr. Shields, is he an acquaintance of yours?
Yeah, you could say that. He's Dane Gustavia. He was involved in the IS-7 incident.
The pastry chef? So he was involved in the case 18 years ago.
Well, at least the other guy is doing all right. Is he a friend of yours, Miles?
Yes, you could say that. It is fortunate you were not hurt, Larry.
What? You could say that's supposed to mean edgy. How could you treat a childhood friend like that? That's just cruel. And also, when I'm dressed like this, I'm called Loris Donim, you know. So don't call me Larry. It's Loris.
This man is Larry Butts. He's nothing but trouble. But he's been one of my friends since grade school. Some time ago, he awakened to the calling of art and assumed the alias Loris Donim. But a Butts by any other name would smell just as much.
Really? You two are childhood friends? I better report that to your old man, too. I'm sure it'll bring him joy. He was always worried about you not being able to make friends. Good for you, Edgy. Aren't you glad to have a bosom buddy like me?
My father was worried about something like that. My father was worried about something like that? Question mark? But anyway, what are you doing in a place like this, Larry?
How many times do I have to tell you, Edgy? I'm Loris!
What are you doing in a place like this?
Yikes! Don't glare at me when you talk.
So, are you going to tell me?
Isn't it obvious? I've come here to study art. I'm gonna take Mandy on a date here, so I was just doing some scouting beforehand. Scumbag. He's the kind of guy that would have, like, cue cards and shit prepared and just look at them, like, just look at them from, like, his hip or something. Like, hold it out right about here and just look to his left and, like, oh, yeah, this is definitely a, proboscis. Yeah, that's what that's called. What does that mean? I suppose nowadays all you have to do is pretend you're on your cell phone. You don't need any cue cards. Oh god, that reminds me of Nature Walk, actually. I don't know if you've never seen Nature Walk. It's one of the more dumb, hilarious videos I've ever seen. Oh, this is an aspen tree. You can tell it's an aspen by the way it is. It just walks off. Not bad, Loris. Maybe you can introduce some pretty girls to me next time. Oh, now you're talking my language, dude.
I think I'm getting a headache. There's too much Brooklyn accent in here.
By the way, Loris, you notice anything strange when you found the victim? Nah, not really.
Nothing that would make you say, I saw something that no one should have ever had to see.
He has. You know he did. Oh, yeah, that. I was just surprised when I saw the old dude fall down out of nowhere like that. I didn't do anything this time for once.
Is that anything to brag about?
I don't know. I'm very dubious about that one. Okay, so what was the accent I gave her? I'm pretty sure it was like French. Visitors, we wish to deeply apologize for the disturbance. I am the curator of this museum. My name is Catherine Hall.
She's also one of the people involved in the IS-7 incident.
Hello there, Miss Kate. Monsieur Shields, thank you for continued assistance.
She was the woman we saw at the reception, so she's the curator here.
We apologize for the inconvenience, especially since it's the opening day. No, you don't have to apologize for a thing, Miss Kate. I almost forgot. Let me just introduce you to someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory Edgeworth's son. Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth!
Swoon!
Oh, how wonderful! I have no idea what tune is. I meet the sun after 18 years. It is an honor to meet you. Defense Attorney Miles Edgeworth. You got that all wrong, lady. Wow, that was amazing. You still got that golden voice, Miss Kate.
Actually, I'm a prosecutor.
Oh, so you are a prosecutor. My most sincere apologies, Monsieur Edgeworth.
This woman is very polite, but slightly odd.
Katie, could I get your autograph right here, please? Yes, if you so desire.
Why do you want her autograph?
Hey, don't tell me. You don't know who she is? My, you really don't keep up with the entertainment news, do you, Miles?
What? What is this unbearable atmosphere?
It's a fandom. Get used to it. She's a superstar actress who's been in tons of musicals and movies. She's a great singer, too. On Broadway. That can describe almost every Ace Attorney character. Polite but odd. Yeah, that's about right. Actually, no. That can't really describe all Ace Attorney characters. There are some that are, horrible people, but odd. Currently, I am the curator of this museum. I have already retired from the stage. I finished filming my role for my last movie a few days ago. Almost all. There we go. My co-stars also said that they were coming here once I opened the doors. And here you are, monsieur. Artiste, I return this to you. Everyone is odd, yes. Thanks a bunch, Katie. I'll treasure it for the rest of my life. Well, looks like me and Laurie share the same interests.
So I gathered. Larry, you said you're here to study art. Why don't you practice drawing as well? Since you're here at Miss Hull's Art Museum.
Oh, it would be an honor to have Monsieur Artiste sketch out exhibits. Oh, I guess even you have some good ideas every now and then, Gee. I'll do a bit of sketching for Katie's here. You know, he's not bad at sketching, so that's not a bad idea. Hee, what an amusing person.
Forgive the disturbance. Incidentally, who was the woman that was with you earlier?
That was Madame Delicia Scones. She is currently assisting in the treatment of Monsieur Gustavia in the infirmary. Even though I said infirmary, since this is an art museum now, it is only provisional. As I am the only staff member working here, I cannot take a leave of my duties for too long.
Delicious Scones. I believe we have heard that name before, Mr. Shields.
Yep. Looks like the whole gang from the IS-7 incident is here. Well, I doubt that's a coincidence. Who invited everyone here? Monsieur Shields, Monsieur Edgeworth, would you care for some hot tea? Oh, Miss Kate's tea. It takes me back.
Yes, if you please.
I'd be dubious about drinking anything at this stage. Like, we've already had a poisoning. Gang's all here except for 3 dead guys. That's about right, yeah. I mean, we do have a son kind of taking over one of the dead guys, but... Now I must take my leave. I must explain the situation to the other visitors. Alright, thanks for everything. Good day, madam.
This smells like Ceylon tea. I should drink it before it cools. Oh, this Ceylon tea is of very high quality. And this aroma of citrus.
Does wonders for your concentration, right? Your old man said the exact same thing 18 years ago. But the saucers back then were chilled. Today, they're warm.
Anyway, don't you think this current situation is rather unusual?
You mean how everyone involved in the case 18 years ago is gathered at this museum? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I would like to be in charge of this case, if at all possible.
I see no reason. Oh, hello.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay?
Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Shields! I came here as fast as I could when I heard that you were done in by the poison gas. Not done in yet. Just calm down, Missy. Oh, my sweet honey Kay. How about a hug after being potted for so long? No. Jeez, you're so perfectly fine. I can't believe you made us worry so much.
Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of bringing Kay here?
I'm sorry, sir. I knew the gas was dangerous, so I tried to stop her. But no matter how much I ran and ran and ran and ran, I couldn't gain any ground.
Right. It's kind of difficult to outrun a ninja. When it comes to running away, no one is faster than the Yatagarasu.
But you weren't running away from here.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, goddamn. That freaking... Oh, man. There's something kind of hilarious, but just like... Bug-faced Gumshoe going in with the, with the gas mask. Actually, hold on a second.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm all set, sir. I'll start investigating the crime scene. Since there might still be traces of gas in the room, I'll have to ask everyone to wait here.
Very well. I'm counting on you.
Good luck in there, Flatfoot. Wow, Gummy's so cool. He's just like a detective. Just like one. That's about the right description I would give him.
But that's what he is.
Oh, hello.
Yes, Edgeworth here.
Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like the poison gas is dissipated, sir.
Although there's a lot of melted nonsense in here. And one shaking curtain. I'm very scared.
Detective, calmly explain the state of the Autumn Palace.
Yes, sir. I'll start with the exhibits. On the left, there's a statue with two people. And on the right, there's a statue of an animal with two horns.
A statue of two people and a statue of an animal with horns? Isn't that the exact same thing I saw in the Winter Palace just a while ago?
Also, the room is wet with water thanks to the sprinkler system. That's also prevented the gas from harming anyone else.
The sprinkler system? Was there a fire in the room?
There are no signs of a fire, and the fire alarm hasn't gone off either, sir. The sprinklers in this museum are the kind that detect both smoke and fire.
Pretty convenient. At least there is some technology that was built into this place over time.
If it detects smoke, it will send an alert to the security room. I think the poison gas might have set off the alarm in the security room, sir.
Was there anyone in the security room at the time?
The only one working here is the curator, Miss Catherine Hall, sir.
Convenient.
She's been in the reception booth opposite the security room ever since the museum opened.
Did Miss Hall turn on the sprinklers?
The sprinkler system can only be operated manually from the security room, sir. If it had been automatic, it would have sprayed water all over the exhibits. Since the security system is manual, the situation can be examined and the exhibits moved if need be.
I guess there would be more priority over the exhibits than the building. Only at a museum.
Yep, who cares if anyone burns to death? It's all about keeping the Mona Lisa safe.
It's way too cold in this room, sir. Isn't this supposed to be the Autumn Palace? Feels more like the dead of winter in here.
The Autumn Palace is cold?
I checked the thermostat earlier, and it was set to 27 degrees Fahrenheit. I couldn't believe it.
Why would the Autumn Palace be set to the same temperature as the Winter Palace?
Exact same scenario in both rooms. That's very strange.
That's all I know. Okay, that's about all I know for now, sir. If I figure out anything else, I'll give you another call.
I see. I'm counting on you, Detective.
So this is odd. Maybe there's some, like, slight discrepancies between the rooms that will make this easier for me. April 2nd, 11:15 a.m. Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. What did Gummy say?
He said it feels more like winter in the Autumn Palace.
I don't get it.
I haven't been able to enter the room personally, but it should be possible to look inside after the police have finished investigating.
I'd like to know what it's like in there myself. Isn't there anyone else who knows about the incident? Ah, there is someone. Miles' friend, right? Friend?
Though he's such a nuisance, we have no choice but to listen to what he has to say for now.
And that is the curse of the butts. Wait, you mean... Oh, you're here too, Kay? You're looking as cute as ever. Long time no see. It's Larry, isn't it? Kay, right now my name is Laurice. Straight-faced. I'm an artist, that's why. Oh, so that's your pen name. Laurice, the artist formerly known as Larry. Wow, you really are a good girl, Kay. Nothing like edgy here.
Well, I never. Larry, I have many things I need to ask you.
What's this? Don't tell me you suspect me again. You're gonna say because I was the first on the scene, I must be the culprit, aren't you?
I never said anything like that. I only want you to tell me what you saw. You said you saw something that no one should ever have to see, did you not?
Now I'm saying I didn't see nothing, and I didn't do nothing. Just like the butts, clamming up again. Probably. Oh my, he didn't seem so confident at the end there.
There are somewhat troublesome circumstances surrounding this man. The saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts, still holds up, 26 years on. One could say his tendency to attract trouble is legendary. Seems he's done something troublesome without even realizing it himself. I'll just have to try and extract the truth from him.
Is that going to take a little bit of logic chess? I think so.
My goal is to expose whatever Larry is hiding. However...
I didn't see nothing! I didn't do nothing!
Larry is an extremely restless and troublesome man. Until he cools down, I'll just wait and see.
He tends to just let things loose out of absolutely nowhere when he's, like, aloof, so that's good for me.
First, I'll ask him about his goal. This isn't something I can't handle. I'll finish this quickly.
I think I can beat him in a game of logic.
What was your purpose for coming to this art gallery?
What? Are you saying that I don't belong in an art gallery? Just chill, buddy. Hey, if you're not gonna talk, hold that pose so I can paint your portrait. And then I'll scribble all over the portrait I drew of you. Keep talking. Keep yammering, sure. I was just joking. I would never scribble over my paintings, of course. They're works of art, after all.
I don't think any of your works would qualify as art.
Don't look down on me. There are people who recognize my skills as an artist. Those people are blind. No. Again, flatter him until he says something. Mandy's my girlfriend, but it's really my painting she fell in love with. That's why I'll sketch anything my girlfriend likes.
Then why are you here on your own today?
So what? Can't a guy with his girlfriend spend some time alone? I have the strange suspicion I know why he came here, actually. Mandy said she's a Gemini. I thought she'd be happy if I showed her a sketch of it on our next date.
Do you really have that much confidence in that sketch?
Well, I'm not so confident about this one, but I thought she would be happy if I did a sketch of her astrological sign. Oh, really?
I see. That's just like you. To impress Mandy, you came here to see the Gemini sculpture, didn't you?
What? How'd you find out?
You literally said. Because you just unknowingly told me everything.
Well, then I'm not saying another word from now on.
He's finally decided to remain silent. In that case, I'll be more relentless in my questioning. I'll try to find out what he was doing here at the art gallery. I'll expose his true motives. This shouldn't take long. You, just what did you do in this art gallery?
Oh, what's with that glare? I don't really remember anything. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I just waited around the fountain patio.
What? Don't they give you a pamphlet at the reception booth after you pay the admission fee?
Is that right? So, the admission wasn't free,
Oh, God.
Well, at least you've got one crime to speak of.
Don't tell me you sneaked in here without paying.
Man, he's only making just about above what Gumshoe makes, so I don't know. I'm sorry! I didn't mean to do anything bad. It's just, there was no one at the reception booth. That's why I thought you could come in here for free.
Wait, what now? Miss Hull wasn't at the reception booth?
Yeah, it didn't look like there was anyone on the other side of the desk.
Come to think of it, Gumshoe did say something about that. Miss Hull was busy activating the sprinklers from the security room. Because of the incident, she had to leave the reception booth.
Poor Katie. She went to all that trouble to open up the place. And now the art gallery's star attraction, the Winter Palace, is completely ruined.
You know about the Winter Palace? You're certainly well informed about the Winter Palace for someone without a pamphlet. The Winter Palace is where your goal, the Gemini sculpture, is located. You had your sights set on the Winter Palace from the beginning, didn't you?
How did you find me out again? That's right. My goal was to see the Gemini sculpture. I love how he's like, how'd you figure it out? You told me that you were going to clam up, and you didn't do that. From the very beginning, the Winter Palace was the very reason why I came here.
He confessed quite easily. You can never tell anything with this man. Next, I'll ask for further information regarding the Winter Palace. Wonder how I'm supposed to attack him here. He may still have some fight left in him. I'll watch his reactions and extract the information I need. Larry, did you also enter the Winter Palace?
Well, what's with that look of distrust? Sure, I tried going in, but could you not get in?
You tried to go in, but you weren't actually able to, right?
Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to go in, but then that old geezer collapsed. I was a little freaked out.
So you couldn't get in because the victim of the poison gas collapsed?
Yeah, he fell right out of the Winter Palace.
I'm sure the victim emerged from the Autumn Palace.
If it weren't for that poison gas incident, I'd be in there sketching the Gemini sculpture right now.
Larry must have mistaken the Autumn Palace for the Winter Palace. That aside, it seems his goal was to sketch the sculpture. This should be a useful clue. Larry, did you see anything in the Winter Palace?
You're still hung up on that? Didn't I say that I didn't see anything? I started to think that it wasn't such a good idea to come to this art gallery. I need to leave soon to meet with my girlfriend.
Perhaps I should try using that clue.
You came here to sketch the sculpture for your girlfriend, did you not? I don't think you would give up that easily. Even after the victim collapsed, you could still see inside the room from the outside, right? Well, I may have gotten a tiny glimpse, but there's no evidence that I saw something scary in there, right? Something scary? What?
My. I'm disappointed it turned out to be this simple.
Larry, you saw something scary at the crime scene, didn't you? Deji, you... can you read my mind? No, your mouth is just constantly open, and it's like a foghorn. In that case, there's no point in keeping any more secrets from you.
You just told me everything of your own accord. That was a complete waste of time, but finally, it's checkmate.
I'd call that a chess match, but I didn't fail once. I had my eyes fixed on the Gemini sculpture.
You've mentioned the Gemini sculpture many times now, but I don't believe the sculpture you saw was the Gemini one.
What? Was it a mirage then?
Larry mistakenly thought he saw the Winter Palace. This piece of evidence shows what Larry really saw.
I guess the photo would probably do that, but... yeah, I'm guessing it's the photo.
This piece of evidence shows what you really saw.
You know, you really shouldn't put that much faith in your sense of aesthetics. If you like, I could teach you a thing or two about art.
It's fine. So it's not this piece of evidence. Whoops.
What he saw was not the Gemini sculpture from the Winter Palace. Must have evidence proves that... Okay, alright, no, it wasn't that. That's just a picture of what we saw. So I guess... art gallery pamphlet stuff?
Take a look at this pamphlet.
Did you see it from the pamphlet?
In the Autumn Palace, the Pisces, Capricorn, Aries, and Aquarius sculptures are displayed. Incidentally, I can confirm the Gemini sculpture is located in the Winter Palace. Therefore, the sculpture you saw could not have been the Gemini one.
I knew it.
I expected him to be a bit more shocked at the news.
I thought it was kind of strange. I know I saw a single goddess. And that transformation was no mirage.
Transformation, you say?
Oh, you're curious too, Edgy? Well, nothing for it, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to show you.
Show me what exactly?
I drew a picture of the very scene I saw back then. But I really can't believe what I drew. Picture? What picture? This one, right here.
Oh, God! What? What is this disturbing picture? Is that sculpture weeping tears of blood?
Maurice, this picture is scary. Okay, it scared me too. This Gemini sculpture suddenly transformed into a goddess right before my eyes. I couldn't help but scream.
So the victim collapsing wasn't what surprised him?
That's kind of creepy.
What do you mean when you say transformed?
I don't really understand it myself. The lower half of its body just turned into a fish. A fish goddess. That would be the Pisces sculpture, wouldn't it? In mythology, Pisces represents the fish that a goddess and her son transformed into. Really? So Pisces isn't just a couple of ordinary fish? Nope. Mermaids! Angie, you don't think that sculpture is cursed, do you? Those tears of blood turned the Gemini sculpture into a fish.
Preposterous. You simply mistook the Pisces sculpture for the Gemini one.
Larry drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture, just as he saw it. Or just as he saw it. Interesting. Okay. Oh, you put the sketch in your organizer?
Even a sketch like this can be used as scrap paper after all.
Shit.
How could you?
But it's strange. Why did only the lower half of the sculpture transform? Uncle Ray's a bit curious about what went on in the Autumn Palace.
Indeed. I wonder if someone tampered with the Pisces sculpture.
Hello, got me.
Yes, Edgeworth here.
Mr. Edgeworth, we finished searching the room. The poison gas isn't a threat anymore, so you can enter the crime scene.
Boy, you weren't 100% certain about that as you took the mask off? You were totally fine with just breathing in whatever noxious nonsense it could have been mustard gas for all you know. I don't.
Right, good work, Detective. It seems we can enter the Autumn Palace now.
Nice timing, Mr. Detective. Let's go right now. I want to see the Pisces sculpture. If Kay's going, I'm going too.
I was planning on bringing him along anyway. Right then, let's proceed to the Autumn Palace.
So yeah, here we are. Let's figure some shit out.
So this is the Autumn Palace. Certainly does resemble the Winter Palace.
I've been waiting, sir. Are you that hairy butts guy?
Wrong! I'm Maurice Donem!
Never mind that, Detective. Your report, if you please.
Roger that, sir. We discovered a used gas burner during our investigation. The nozzle was still warm when we found it, so it may be related to the incident.
Was it used to heat something?
Neato. I do know that is a very important tool when it comes to, making glass sculpture. Or, actually, no, ice sculptures. And glass sculptures, as a matter of fact.
Was the ladder always there on the ground?
It was probably used by the person who set off the poison gas. The poison gas was released when someone lifted the lid off the glass case, sir.
So these cases just had a bunch of poison gas in it? Holy shit.
The Pisces sculpture.
Well, it seems like you know about it, sir. Well then, do you know what the sculpture next to it is?
Since we're in the Autumn Palace, it would probably be the Capricorn statue.
As expected of Mr. Edgeworth, I thought it was Taurus myself. I was thrown off as it was covered by this weird cloth.
The forensics cloth! The fluorescent, no, not forensics. Fluorescent cloth, damn it. I think I mixed up fluorescent and forensics at the exact same word. I wonder what it's doing here.
Evidence from the IS-7 incident?
Strange. Well, that's one way of preventing someone from touching the exhibit. You're poisoning people, yes. Although it would be real nice if somebody actually put up a warning sign. Warning, your eyes will burn out if you open this case.
No matter what it is or how it got here.
Yeah, then there's that.
The sculptures in this room are all covered with this fluorescent cloth.
And because they're hidden, it makes me want to see them even more. Nah, Surfspunk's right. I don't know. I don't wish upon anybody a complete loss of eyesight.
Let's just take a look. I'll get this cloth off.
What do we got? Wow, they're beautiful. Ooh. Very neat looking.
You don't think the transformation Larry saw was in fact the moment the cloth wrapped around the lower half of Pisces fell?
See, Edgy? It wasn't a mirage or a mistake at all.
Nah.
Hey, Miles. There sure is something strange about this room. Looks exactly the same as the Winter Palace we were in just a moment ago.
Yes, I agree. Perhaps the sculptures were hidden to make it look like the Winter Palace. If you wrap the cloth around the lower half of the Pisces sculpture, it looks like Gemini.
Capricorn is a half-fish too. Hide the lower half and it resembles Taurus. The remaining two, which couldn't be altered with trickery, were covered up.
The Autumn Palace was made to look like the Winter Palace, so it seems, Mr. Shields. It looks like we'll need to conduct an investigation of the Autumn Palace too.
Who? Oh, you bastards.
Mr. DeBess and Judge Courtney.
Goody gumdrops. Hey! You guys again! This is a problem. You see, this is my crime scene. Mr. Edgeworth, it seems my power is insufficient. If you're here, then it would appear that you still haven't understood my warnings. Furthermore, you know full well your reckless actions will cause trouble for the detective. In the name of the goddess of law, I must pass judgment.
DeBest is a joy to voice. He is such an asshole. I agree.
You got it all wrong, pal. I was the one who asked Mr. Edgeworth to investigate.
Really? Well then, Flatfoot, I'll have to do that.
That?
Yeah, that. Right? Cut your salary. Looking forward to your next payday. I've always wanted to say that.
You're the last person I want cutting my salary, pal.
Hold it, DeBest. I am only cooperating with the police as a witness to this incident. Detective Gumshoe is not to blame.
So that's how it is. Well then, should I be raising his salary?
No, that's not what I meant.
But it would be real nice to get my salary raised. Heck it.
God, I can't even afford noodles now. Help!
Your mercy is deeply moving, Sebastian. But please, past transgressions must lead to future adjustment.
Great.
Prosecutor Edgeworth and all his company depart at once from this holy site. But we only just got here! The one given the goddess of law's blessing for this incident was Sebastian.
In other words, Mr. DeBest is the prosecutor in charge of this case.
That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening performance is over. Besides, I've already got my eyes set on the culprit.
What? Who, pal?
Well, naturally, that artist. Me? Hey, what's going on, Eddie?
Don't ask me. I can't understand his reasoning.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you can't understand how the best prosecutor thinks, it simply shows how inculpable you are.
Seems he doesn't know what inculpable even means.
That's right, Sebastian. Prosecutor Edgeworth is quite incapable. Yeah, that's the word. Yes, he's incapable. She's just nonchalantly corrected him. Don't underestimate my intelligence-gathering skills. I just came from the infirmary and asked the doctor there about the cause of the poison gas.
And what was the cause?
Some normal substance. What was its name again? Hold on a second. I'll call the doctor and make sure.
Fuck.
Since Sebastian is on the phone, I'll answer for him. In that case, why didn't you tell us before he called? The poison gas was caused by a mixing of two different types of chemicals. Their names are normalium and fatal. Oh, fuck.
So, what are those chemicals exactly?
Normalium is a red liquid that's commonly used in everyday products. It can be found in paint and detergent, among other things, but it is not toxic by itself.
So you're saying that it's a substance readily available to anyone?
Yes, but fatalium, on the other hand, is not so easy to obtain.
Its name sure sounds dangerous. What's it used for?
It is the active ingredient of a white pesticide known as Megatoxin X. Holy shit! I want a copy of that bottle. Fatalium itself also has a deep white color, but it's not really sold in stores. it's nearly impossible to obtain domestically. Right now, we are looking into how this chemical was obtained. Great. Kind of reminds me of the fact that, like, technically salt is perfectly safe for humans, but if you actually had, like, pure sodium in, like, you know, just in its pure form, you would get poisoned and maybe die. Okay, I finally figured out the name of those chemicals. Judge Courtney has already told us. We don't need to hear it again. Fine then. I'll cut to the chase. You know that normalium from the poison gas is also used in paint, right? Today, out of everyone who visited the art gallery, the only one carrying paint was that artist. You're treating me as the culprit just because of that? I object to the red paint on the palette you're carrying. Hey, Edgy, don't you think this prosecutor is kind of an idiot? When the idiot is calling you an idiot, you are a shame to all idiots.
Indeed, although I've only known him for a short time, his logic is always absurd.
Hey, don't ignore me.
To best, it doesn't matter what color the paint is. Let him live in his fantasy land. It's fine.
It's all right, Sebastian. They're only doing it because they're afraid of you. Like the first star to appear at night. Show us reasoning that shines the best. The first star shines best. Not bad. Hey, you guys better listen up too. This is going to be silly. That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally, he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. So, what do you think, Justine? We cannot ignore the possibility. Well then, Mr. Artist, please tell us the truth. Did you leave red paint at the crime scene? Or else, did you cause the poison gas to go off? The only thing I leave behind is my bond of love with you. Please watch what you say. Yes, she could actually get you in trouble. My gavel is already prepared to declare you guilty.
Please pay no heed to this man's statements.
Hey, you guys! Ignoring my reasoning just because it's flawless won't do you any good. Mr. Edgeworth, if you've already admitted defeat, you should take your leave.
Even though I don't really have time to deal with your ridiculous reasoning, I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's good, because I haven't saved yet in a long time.
So, let me do that real quick. Burp. And we're good. I smile every time DeBest opens his mouth. Yeah, nothing but stupid falls out of it. That artist was the first to discover the victim. Naturally, he's the best suspect. Using a lot of verbs. Actually, no, adjectives. Here. I'm just as stupid.
Indeed, at first glance, this man seems suspicious. However...
At first glance? Ugh. What's with that first all of a sudden? Are you trying to steal my spot as the star that shines best? Wouldn't that make me the best artist?
Larry, don't make this any more confusing than it already is. Mr. DeBest, continue your reasoning, now.
The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? So?
Yes, apparently normalium is used in many everyday products.
Right, so the red paint is definitely suspicious. But it's also used in things other than paint, right? I guess you have a point. What do you think, Justine? That's right. Normalium is also used in detergent, for example.
In other words, it might not have been paint that caused the gas.
That's not true! Let me finish my reasoning! As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance.
Even if paint is the cause of the poison gas, that does not mean he is guilty.
Well then, if the paint is not the cause, that doesn't mean he's innocent either. Now he's just trying to sound clever. Mimicking what Mr. Edgeworth says won't make you look cool at all.
Okay, please don't make my statements look bad.
Now then, it's about time to wrap up my shining logic. The paint, along with being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit.
Do you truly claim that Larry is the culprit based on just that?
You got a problem with that? If you have a problem, then present evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, looks like he really wants you to do that.
Indeed. Then I will do as he wishes and present evidence. Seems he doesn't pay much attention to what other people are saying. There is a clear contradiction in Mr. DeBest's logic.
Why do you even bother making the phone call?
I'll finish this quickly. This is a waste of time.
So I think it might be the... I think it's like the very last statement. No, the paint... No. The paint along with being the first witness. That pretty much proves he's the culprit. Does it? Let me take a look here. The white fatalium mixed with the red normalium caused chemical reaction. Well, it's all well and good, but... Let me think about this for a second here. Larry drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture just as he saw... maybe this is it? Considering, like, very clearly it shows that there's a very strange red substance just dripping off of the eyes of this asshole. And then, of course, like, the pink stuff on the floor. Which is interesting because it... I guess, did it mix in the air? I feel like they would have to, like, actually combine, sort of like, you know, AB foam or something. Whatever, I'm gonna try this. Nope.
Mr. DeBest, what do you think about this piece of evidence?
Why are you asking for my opinion?
Don't you see? This evidence contradicts your testimony.
What? I don't believe this evidence has that kind of meaning. Is that right? Oops.
With Judge Courtney here.
Also, you don't need to yell objection so loudly. Just showing evidence will suffice.
You don't need to tell me that.
Okay. Let me think about this again. Anything else with the... Okay. As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. Poison gas was... I mean, he was carrying paint by the victim. So, alright. There's a lot of factual stuff involved with that. Poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint. That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best... Okay. I do seriously think this is it. But, what would be the better option? The paint, along with being the first witness. That pretty much proves he's the culprit. I can take a look at that. Meh. Nothing to do with that. Used gas burner. There are traces that it was used before the police arrived. Was it used to heat something? I don't know if that connects to this situation in any way, shape, or form. Rainbow light device injects light into the fluorescent cloth. Oh, hey, I can check this. Hold up.
A blue cloth. I guess this kind of relaxing color is nice once in a while.
Miles, you're starting to sound like your old man.
I don't want to hear that from Mr. Shields.
Do I want a clue? Not quite. Not quite. Alright, here. Mouse wheel. Also zoom out. I'll just take in a quick... Oh, hey, there's some stuff on the back here. What's this? Oh, it's different kind of, type of colors.
According to Mr. Shields, this allows you to change the color of the cloth. Let me try it out.
Oh, that's cool.
The cloth has started to glow.
Anything strange with it now? Doesn't look all that different. Let me see. Cloth is glowing with a light blue aura. According to the detective's report, it was wrapped around the statue like this. So it would seem. How is this related to our case? No idea. What would happen if I were to turn it off again? I mean, probably nothing, but... Oh, nothing. Okay. Apparently it's just automatically toggled on forever and ever now. Fair enough. Okay, Paint along with being the first witness. That pretty much proves he's the culprit. I don't think the IS-7 incident case file would have anything to do with it. Zodiac Art Gallery. Opening times 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. No. This had nothing to do with, like, victims and stuff. Actually, I kind of feel like I'm supposed to be... There's a part of me that feels like I need to be pinning it down on something a little more serious. Well, a little bit more simple. That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. I think this one, actually. And I think this might have something to do... Well, could it have something to do with the statue? Larry drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture. Nope. Shit. Mr. DeBest, there's a contradiction in your statement. Is that true, Justine? It is not, Sebastian. It is Prosecutor Edgeworth's statement that is contradictory. Of course! There's no way they could, there could have been a contradiction in my argument then. Yeah, fine. The real problem here is her rather than Mr. DeBest. Exactly. Best chance. Poison gas caused by normalium, chemical found in paint, right? Well, I have no other evidence saying that there's anything else. I'm overlooking something huge. I'm sure I am. There's something that tells me that that's a hint. Fatalium with red normalium causes a chemical reaction. There are traces that it was used before the police arrived. Let me check this. Isaac Dover's body discovered by chocolate chip. Blunt trauma, blood was shed. Defendant Mr. Master was found guilty of murder and is now currently serving jail, which sucks ass. Am I sure I want no hit? I mean, I like to figure this stuff out. Let me see. Alright, can you make it subtle? I guess that's all I can really ask at this stage. How is the gas formed? The gas is formed by mixing red normalium with and white fatalium. Yes. Artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. Poison gas is caused by normalium, chemical found in paint, right? I wonder if maybe we need to elaborate further on what actually causes the poison gas, and maybe that points us in the right direction. That, okay, right. Dang. The funny thing is that he was correct in that. He wasn't saying the whole truth, though. Okay, I get it. That's what was screwing me up. Mr. DeBest, your logic is more akin to a shooting star than a shining star. It shines the best like a shooting star, right?
It may shine brightly for a brief moment, but then it burns itself out. The poison gas originated from inside the glass case of the Pisces sculpture.
Exactly. So that's where the artist set off the gas, right? He used the normalium in his red paint.
As your senior, let me give you one piece of advice. Listen to the explanations of others. The poison gas was caused by mixing both normalium and fatalium together. The normalium contained in the red paint is not enough by itself.
That seems obvious. I guess I should have known he wouldn't have got that, but alright. Really? But I thought I heard that normalium caused the fatality?
Don't tell me you just misheard the forensics report.
Darn it!
By the time Larry discovered the victim, the room was already filled with poison gas. It is time for you to realize how incapable you really are.
Hey! What do you mean by incapable? You tried to use that word earlier, and you still don't know what it means. He means to say you are lacking in ability.
Incidentally, inculpable has a completely different meaning.
I get it. You're making fun of me again, aren't you?
I am merely saying you were incapable of your investigation.
Before you insult Sebastian, I still have some doubts about your own statement.
What kind of doubts?
For all we know, Mr. Artist could have simply entered the Autumn Palace at an earlier time.
That's...
Moreover, do you have evidence that the red paint is unrelated to the case?
The most important thing now is not the red paint. The red normalium and the white fatalium. Exactly how were these two substances mixed? I believe that is our main concern.
Naturally. It was Sebastian's job to investigate that. Were it not for your interference, we would have found that out by now.
I never intended to interfere. On the contrary, I'd like to cooperate.
Don't tell me you're going to say you know the cause of the poison gas.
How the poison gas started. I have something that may shed some light on this matter.
Sebastian, do not fall for his bluff. Come now. Come now, it's fine, really. Let's hear what he's come up with. If you say so, Sebastian. Come on, show us! How did the poison gas start? Well, the easy assumption would be the sketch of this thing here. Makes sense, but I don't really know 100% on where the red stuff went at that point. Let me try this. Surely you are not saying that this was the cause of poison gas?
It seems even you noticed it.
Duh, it really stands out!
Those red tears that Larry saw were undoubtedly normalium.
Wait a second. If those were chemicals, does that mean a ghost set off the poison gas? Yep, ghosts exist, people.
I don't have time to play along with them. The red tears of normalium could not have triggered the poison gas by itself. That red liquid was mixed inside the case to create the poison gas.
What? Just where do you see evidence that the chemicals were mixed?
That can also be seen in this sketch.
Pink shit.
Here is the evidence.
Show evidence that the two chemicals were mixed. Well, funny enough, both of them were kind of separated a little bit. Actually, no, one of them was white. So, at the end of the day, it would absolutely have become like a pink mess. Right, basic grade school color mixing.
A pink liquid can be seen flowing out from under the case of the Pisces sculpture. This is proof that the two chemicals were mixed.
Hold on a second. I still don't get it. How does this show that normalium and fatalium were mixed?
Since we have a self-proclaimed artist here, I'll let him explain. Larry, you fancy yourself an artist, so you should know about mixing paint, right? What do you add red to red to make pink?
Don't take me for a fool, Edgy. I'll have you know I graduated from middle school. You add white to red to make pink. It's common knowledge. Well, technically there's rose pink, baby pink, and several others.
That's enough. Now do you understand it, Mr. DeBest?
That's how it is. By mixing red normalium with white fatalium, you get a pink liquid.
Yes, exactly. Took him long enough.
I see. It looks like Mr. DeBest finally gets it. Maybe. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have merely presented one possibility. Do we really know if the color was the result of the two chemicals mixed together? Furthermore, this sketch was drawn by the suspect. I cannot put much faith into it. I just painted what I saw. How could that be a lie? Mr. Artist, I did not permit you to speak.
It's so cold. But that's part of a charm. Of course, I intend to bring the truth to light immediately.
It would not be wise to jeopardize your position even further. Aren't you going to answer my question from before? How do you know that Mr. Artist did not enter the Autumn Palace? If you cannot prove this, there is no room for you to argue any further.
Hey, couldn't we find that out if we talked to the victim, pal?
The victim, Dane Castavia, remains unconscious and in critical condition.
That's right.
Hey! Be careful, that is a very nice floor. Well then, Sebastian will be investigating the crime scene now. All of you, please vacate the premises.
Hold it. Who?
Larry. If you were to take a stand in court, you'd cause a lot of trouble for the preceding judge. Is there something you would like to say, Mr. Artist? Hold your horses, Miss Cool Beauty. My name is Justine Courtney. Please don't address me by such a strange title. He is so smooth with the ladies. Oh, you finally told me your name. Pleased to meet you, Justy. I'm Laurice Denim, but you can call me Laurice. Mr. Artist, please get to the point. I just remembered something I haven't had a chance to say yet. When I first got to this room, it was locked, so I couldn't go in. But then that old dude just suddenly fell through the door. It would appear that the palace rooms can be locked from the inside. But just because you say it was so doesn't mean the door was locked. Without proof, your statement holds no value.
Objection.
I mean, I remember trying to open the door. Well, why not let Uncle Ray prove it for you? What? After all, we can confirm the room was locked too. Right, Miles?
Yes, I remember as well.
The Winter Palace should be... It's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum.
Until the gas outbreak, no one could have entered this room.
Perhaps the suspect entered the room with the victim during the gas outbreak.
And gas himself. What? As you can see, the man did not inhale any of the gas. If you examine his belongings, you'll find he wasn't carrying a gas mask either.
Is that so? Well then, I have no choice but to agree.
That was easier than I suspected. Expected, rather. Anyway, I presume this clears up any suspicions surrounding Larry? It seems Mr. DeBest's logic was off once again.
What? Not exactly. I just didn't have enough information, that's all. Therefore, my reasoning was just before its time. He sure has a grand way of saying that things didn't work out for him. In that case, there is one more suspect who has yet to take the stand. Mr. Artist, you are free to go. But I wanted to talk to you a little more, Justy. Please slam him with a gavel. Overruled. The cold demeanor leaves me mesmerized all the more.
This other suspect is...
a pharmacist by the name of Delicious Scones. It would have been difficult for this artist to obtain the Fatalium from Megatoxin X. But a pharmacist may have knowledge of how to do that. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Sebastian, it would be best if we brought her in quickly. Best if we brought her quickly? Sounds good. Leave it to me. Hey, Flatfoot, keep up the investigation.
Got it.
Okay, now the logic is sound. I don't know, now that they are targeting her directly, I'm not entirely sure if this is true now.
Don't tell me Judge Courtney suspected her from the very beginning.
So Mr. DeBest's logic wasn't any help at all.
Judge Courtney, just what is she thinking?
To be continued. And then we will find out what the heck she's thinking next time. Because we've been going on until, like, almost about, like, 2.5 hours. This is good. I still haven't had dinner yet, so I need to go and take care of that. In the meantime, we'll all just stand by this ladder and make ladder jokes. But this has been fun. Another little glimpse into Gregory Edgeworth and a little bit more of Miles. He's fun. I'm glad that we're out of the avenue of like 12 different Grizzly voices. That's good. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna get a move on here. So again, thanks. I saw quite a few people pop in on both Twitch and YouTube. I appreciate it very much. If you want to take a look at this episode after it's done, I'm going to be, well, I did fairly okay, so I might just upload the whole thing. Except like a couple of tiny edits here and there. I stream on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, and all of them started around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I should mention, though, I have been a little behind on the uploading just because I've been busy lately, but I'm going to get to that as soon as I can. Anyway, some other games. Well, I just finished playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So now I need some fun little games to fill in those spaces. I mean, I wasn't playing it constantly, but it's certainly a game that was taking up some of the screen time. And I have some ideas for some stuff I want to try, so I'll be diving into that as soon as I can. Anyways, yes, like I said, I'm hungry, and I have not gone and eaten anything. So, I'm off. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.